Great skills again by him. Oh, marvellous goal by Lewis.
Welcome to the Rangers journey.
Afternoon, everybody. What a massive day for us today. First game of Danny Rowe. Probably the first time I think I've been excited looking forward to the Rangers game in some time. Being honest, probably certainly this season, if not before. So, joined by two fantastic guests. I've got Dino. How are you getting on, pal?
I'm good, thank you, buddy. How are you?
I'm fighting fit, mate. Fighting
Good,
fit.
good.
Billy, you doing okay, mate?
Yeah, I'm okay, mate. Just in the door for work in time for this, so glad to be talking about it.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, we don't have team lines yet, so we're going to run through what we expect the team to be and what we'd like to see happen, and obviously what we wouldn't like to see happen as well. So I'll come to you first of all, Dino. Give me your back line of it. I think the goalkeeper kind of picks himself, so we'll omit Jack Butland. He's probably been arguably our player of the season so far, so we'll leave him out of the equation. But where do you see the back line starting? Is there any kind of unusual, anything different you think you'll see?
I think Tav and Magoma also picked themselves and Cornelius for the balance, so it's just that right centre back position. Might mix up and go with Giga, just because I think it was yourself, Ryan, or somebody said in the chat again. It's a clean slate for everybody. Doesn't matter what happened before. So if Giga's been impressive and Danny Rule likes him, and I think we could see that because Suter can be a bit of a bomb scare and stuff as well at times. So that's the only thing I would see differently in the back line. I don't know about yourselves.
Well, I'll come to you, mate. What's your kind of prediction? Where do you think we'll go?
Well, the manager said in the press conference about there'll be changes to the team. I don't know if the back line is somewhere that he'd want to make changes too quick. So I don't see there being much difference. Could you have an argument for Cornelius at left back instead of Mahoma? But probably not. So I would think it would be Tav, Suter, Giga, and Mahoma at the back line, mate. But I mean, I don't think you can do really much more. I don't think NCL is even allowed to play in Europe, is he? So it's not even like you could bring in a kind of wild card.
Yeah, I think he's been left out of the squad there. There's arguments possibly maybe look to change up to a back three or something like that. We've obviously got an abundance of centre halves. We've got Cornelius there, who's the kind of obvious one that could play on the left-hand side of three centre halves. So he's got options there. But we're obviously the rumours are that what we've been told that he is fond of a back four. That's his kind of preference there, and he likes to see the full-backs getting forward there. So I think our prediction is a 4-2-3-1 is the information that we get on Danny Rowe. That's his preferred formation. That certainly he likes to start with, but obviously he's someone that's quite flexible, and he'll make changes within game to make things better for us if he believes we need to change things up to get the winner, get the result that we're looking for there. So, Dino, onto the kind of midfield side of things, do you see anything changing? Conor Barron didn't play at the weekend. Do you see something, maybe him coming in?
I think he might have, maybe, I don't know, him and Raskin maybe there, and because I'd like to see if it's the 4-2-3-1, I'd like to see Ant-Man, Gassama and Asgard as the three behind the striker. But I'd like to see Barron getting a shot, because having somebody like that in the midfield who doesn't stop is what we're kind of missing at the moment.
Yep. Billy, I was impressed with Asgard at the weekend. I've been one of his kind of more vocal critics within the group. I think took his goal absolutely brilliantly. And I turned around to the boy sitting beside me at the game, and I said, "That's the player that we wanted to sign when he slammed the ball into the top corner." Are you hoping to see more of this from him? Is this where he's going to maybe do his best? Obviously, in his native Norway today as well, so he's going to be looking to try and impress in that stage.
He will be, and also kind of listen to what he was saying. He's at the press conference earlier as well, with describing Russell Martin, his style of play being, was it unique or something like that? He said it wasn't something obviously that he took to, and you could see he was allowed to be a bit further forward on Saturday. Just scored that goal as well. I'd like to see him interact with the front three a lot more than he has been in recent times.
The team's out, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry.
All right, okay. Sorry.
Dino, crack on. Give us it out.
I didn't mean to be rude. So Butland,
No, not at all. It's breaking news.
Tav, Suter, Giga, Magoma, Asgard,
Got that right?
Rothwell, Asgard, Rothwell, Raskin, Ant-Man, Chermiti, and Gassama.
Okay, I'm just trying to
So-
find them myself here.
It's on the UEFA's website. I've just went to.
Okay.
Chermiti's I guess backing up what Thelwell was saying, that they are someone that they view as being like an important player going forward. That's a big call, really, to be
Very
throwing them
big
in
call.
there.
Also a big call, I think, having Giga unsuited and no Cornelius. That's well, got to have faith there.
And we're saying there that the things that we're kind of making excuses for Cornelius there, that, you know, play him as part of a back three, play him at left back and stuff like that, and just don't play him at all. Just chuck him out the team. Billy, do you think that's harsh on the big man? I think he's been okay since he came in.
Yeah, but I mean, he's obviously not. He's not had a lot of time to see probably a lot of the videos of the previous games, and he's only had a couple of days at training. And how much is he going to see? I'm assuming he's probably taken into consideration, you know, conversations with the, you know, maybe Stevie Smith, stuff like that. I'm not totally surprised by that, to be honest, Ryan. The big surprise, two big surprises for me is Chermiti and Rothwell. I don't know if Rothwell's done really anything to justify being in the team. And when the manager was talking about swarming and closing down, well, that's really Barron's kind of forte, isn't it? I mean, it's the press he's pretty good at. So I'm maybe a bit harsh on him not getting a start actually more than anybody else.
Yep. You know, you think he may be behind Rothwell. It's just more of a footballing perspective. I would probably class Rothwell as a better footballer is Barron. I think there's definitely different skill sets within both of them, but I would probably describe Rothwell as the kind of more creative player. Certainly moving forward, we've seen a couple of decent runs for him on Saturday. I think that's maybe within the thinking.
I think on that, given what he was saying, that he, you know, wants us to be more direct and quicker in the transition. So that kind of suggests to me that, you know, Rothwell is going to be quite important with that and getting the ball and going forward with it. And also with Giga playing. So part of the issue that we had without a left side centre back with that horseshoe is there was no balance, because there's so much passes going between the left centre back and the left back and the centre mid. And so basically, you know, that kind of suggests to me that he's not going to be having many passes at the back, which is, I guess, you've got to look at it in an encouraging from an encouraging point of view. And Rothwell has been, you know, touted that he was played the wrong position and this, that, and the next thing, and wrong instructions for his skill set under Martin. So maybe Danny's seen something that he can get the best out of Rothwell, and by that I think they're not expecting much, you know, much possession towards the back end, because you'll be wanting Raskin to push on as well. So he's waiting for a relatively, I think, attack-minded 4-3-3.
Yeah,
You want the subs, Ryan?
Yeah, I was going to just go. I was just before about the subs. I was just a 4-3-3 is classed as attacking, Billy. Would you say? But it's brave to go away in Europe in your first game and hit out with a 4-3-3. I think he's got a lot of courage in doing that. A lot of guys that went very kind of safe and done the 4-2-3-1 where you're basically playing the team almost in two halves. But I think he maybe obviously realises it's an important game for us, and we really do need the 3 points on the board today.
I think we've just got a team that's more suited to being on the front foot, Ryan. So, you know, he maybe is thinking a team that are quite good at the press, I believe. I mean, I think I was listening to the Heart and Hand preview show, and they described Brann as maybe what Russell Martin's team would have looked like in a couple of years' time if everything had went to plan. So they're obviously wanting to keep possession, and this kind of team he's put out looks like we could be kind of quick on the break if we manage to nick the ball off them. So he's maybe thinking along the lines of that play to your strengths is you've got Gassama, you've got Ant-Man. So break on them, get the ball off them, hopefully, and spring kind of surprises on them, I suppose.
Yep. Dino, just coming at you, one of the kind of criticisms that I had of particularly of our European squad last season was our lack of depth within the squad. I think probably the most obvious one, referencing back to what happened at Old Trafford last season, where we were playing kids on, and we had, right backs, left backs playing at right back, and right back playing at centre half at one point down at Old Trafford, and we were unlucky to come out with a draw that night. But we'll come on to the substitutes, as Paul was asking about there. Kelly, obviously, the reserve goalkeeper. Cornelius and Fernandez, Aarons covering defensive duties. Rice, Barron, McCallion, Curtis Moore, Cameron covering midfield. Majowski and Danilo. There's every possibility that any one of those guys, probably with the exception of McCallion and arguably Rice, any one of these guys could be a first team pick for us.
Aye, it's good to see us have a bit of depth and having the youngsters involved in and around the squad as well. And I think we've got to look at it in a way that's got to be the blueprint going forward, because last year, but even the year before that, I've just not been impressed with our depth in European squads for a wee while, and it's obviously something that had been identified. And names like Fernandez, who we didn't know what was up with him, turns out he's actually been injured, and the rumours going about that he was rank rotten and not good enough, and that's why he wasn't getting involved. And then that started the fans on a tangent, blaming Fairwell and whatnot, £3.5 million down the drain, and do you know what I mean? So when he's actually on the bench and you're thinking, well, he might even get a few minutes tonight, that's really, really, really good to see, because you want to be him coming in and amongst other players. And to think that, we're starting to meaty, and, Danilo again, he's got something to prove. So maybe some fire in his belly, so to make him more hungrier. So that the bench is looking a damn sight better than it has done. And last season was just a joke. And even when he made the change, was it when he made the changes as well, that they were just questionable and have been. So all things considered, we've got a good, strong squad, I think.
Yep. Well, just coming, I think it's safe to say that everyone's playing for their futures now under this new manager. The manager hasn't signed any of these players, so anyone who's going to get opportunities is going to look to impress. There's two guys in particular for me that have to do that. I'm not going to talk about Danilo. I think we've spoken about Danilo enough over the last couple of seasons, but Lyle Cameron, definitely. Mikey Moore as well, is somebody who's got to turn a corner for us.
Yeah, and to be honest, he was quite a good sub coming on at the weekend. I thought he actually played one of the best I'd seen him. Mikey Moore I'm talking about. But Lyle Cameron, I think, started the season fairly well. I'm surprised he's not played more games. Did he have an injury for some parts of it? But I've been quite impressed with him. Really pleased with the signing. But if you look at that bench, I mean, you've got Bailey Rice on there as well, another player that's kind of playing for his future. What is he? Is he going to be here long term? These guys, if they do get on, hopefully they know that they're going to have to impress this new manager, because he's, as you say, Ryan, he's not their signings, and we benefit from a bunch of players trying to kind of make a name for themselves at the club at this time. So if they come on, take their opportunity, that can only be good for us, because there's certainly been with some of the performance recently, the desire hasn't been there, and they need to work on that. And as you say, if they're going to have to impress this manager or about the door in the transfer window, either in the winter time or next summer. So yeah, they need to really kind of step up now. Everyone has a clean slate, as you were saying as well, but that's that also goes for the players that have been kind of doing well. They also need to start from scratch and play with that the fire in their bellies that we need to see from them.
Yep. Just last wee thing before we go into start closing up here. It's a massive call with Trinity. Starting him, obviously, hasn't really done much to impress us, let's be honest here, over Majowski. What would your kind of thoughts be on that?
Aye. I would have been starting Majowski. Like, you would think a centre forward especially has to earn their place, and there's just been nothing that we could say he's earned it. In the few days that he's had with them, I can only think that he's saw something in him in the training, and that's why he's starting. Because but to be fair, we were dealt a bad hand with Martin, because you could have Erling Haaland up front for us, and it would have been made to look dire. So different tactics, who knows? But the outlay that we've spent on him is one of the reasons why us fans are, oh no, he needs to be doing this and he needs to be doing that, and kind of going with what the owners were sort of implying, that like, we're spending that money because, you know, we're going to get it back, but like, it didn't seem like a great deal amount of money that they've spent, if that makes sense. So I guess they're kind of thinking, well, we'll spend money, but you know, there's more there to spend type thing. So, and because it's obviously a big outlay for us, and you know, we've got such a bad record of players and, you know, return on investment and things like that, we're obviously a lot more sceptical and a lot more emotional when it comes to making decisions on, or making opinions and perceptions on things like that. So good to see the manager doing things like this and giving the guy an opportunity, because with better service we might just see, you know, some of the reasons as to why we paid such a large amount of money for him.
Yeah, you know, I think a couple of guys have just kind of hit the nail on the head here. We all gave a service to score goals. I believe that Trimity as well, but I think Gurry's probably nailed it here. Lots of crosses into the box. You know, the big man is 6 foot odd in there. He also offers us a half decent outball, so there'll be probably periods of time, let's not kid ourselves, we were under a lot of pressure in this game. And it just gives us an opportunity where we've just got a massive guy up there we can just dunk the ball up to, and hopefully can hold us up and get us up the park a wee bit just at times of need when we're doing it. But we'll start coming around, guys. If everyone that's watching, commenting, please get your match predictions in. They're going to come to you first of all, Billy. Your match prediction and a goal scorer if you want as well.
Can I just go on to Trimity, Ryan? Just
of course you can, mate. Yeah.
It's just that he's really shown us that we've got nothing to go on with him. He's not scored. He didn't look particularly great at the weekend, in my opinion. He did that one where he kind of just went down. I don't know if he was playing for a foul or whatever, but and then he was jumping around trying to win a header, and he didn't look good at the weekend. Now he's got a chance, as we're saying, the clean slate to show us what he can do. But right now, I've not got a lot of faith in him, just from what, you know, the kind of fleeting appearances we've kind of seen of him. We've got nothing to go on to see if he actually can hold the ball up, because I've not seen him do that particularly well either. So I'm hoping for him this evening that he does. This is like the kind of introduction to his Rangers career, and he maybe sets his goal tally off. And I'm going to say it's going to be a couple of goals from him, and then Miovski will come on, and I think it'll be a 3-1 victory from us this evening, Ryan. Thank you, mate. I really hope so.
I think Trimity probably reminds me of almost like a computer game, where you basically create a player, and what would you want them to be? You would want them to be massive, strong, and all these kind of stuff, and actually say, right now, you need to put the coaching into them. So there's a raw
the thing with that, Ryan, it's one of these things where you've got so many points to spend, so you've spent all the points on making them big and strong, but you can't finish.
Exactly. So, but we'll see what comes of it. This is what obviously these coaches are paid for and stuff like that, and we'll see if we can get a tune out of them. Hopefully so, because there's £8 million being laid out on them. Do you know your match prediction, and if you want a goal scorer, please, mate?
I'm going to go for 2-1 to us. I think we will. I think Trimity will score, and I think Gassama will score.
Brilliant. Well, I'm going to go 2-1 to Rangers. I think it'll be quite a tough game. I think we'll probably score quite near the end. I think we'll probably start taking a lay off every one each for quite a while. And then we'll lay one on. We'll kind of hatchet job, grab and run, and see where we go. But we've got a big game on Sunday, another big game on Wednesday, and an even bigger one at the weekend thereafter. So plenty coming up. We'll be on straight after the game, guys. I believe you've got Andrew hosting. I can't remember who's coming on with them, but there's a good panel there. So hopefully there'll be smiles on their faces and they'll be rolling in it, so to speak, with that side of things. But if you haven't already, guys, please like and subscribe. Get us on YouTube. That's the best platform to get us on. If you're kind enough to become a member. And Dino, Billy, thanks very much, guys. And hopefully it's the Rangers win. And every night is a Rangers all night. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Every night is the Rangers Journal night.